Welcome back, everyone. I am the Depressed Dior, and this is Marvel Champions with Spider-Woman and the Wasp. So, we're going to be going up against Taskmaster. We beat Absorbing Man last time. Hopefully, we'll make less rules mistakes. It's all about that fine print, but honestly, there was also just some rules, things that you would never really think to look up. So, it was it's just one of those things. Anyway, let's go ahead and talk about Taskmaster. I never fought against this guy before. So one scheme to attack Hydra Mercenary, forced response. After a player changes to hero form, they discard the top card of the encounter deck and take damage equal to the number of boost icons on that card. There's nothing you can do that I can't do better. All right, and then over here we have hunting down heroes. You have to have Taskmaster 1 and 2, Taskmaster, Hydra Patrol, and standard encounter set. So this is one of the times where the one of the module sets is always going to be on there, which is the Hydra Patrol. And then one modular encounter set, which is the recommended is Weapon Master. And then it says set each captive ally aside out of play, which is over here. And then search the encounter deck for Hydra Patrol and put it into play, then shuffle the encounter deck. Hydra Patrol. So this is the thing that we have to deal with this before we can do anything with the main scheme. And then when we defeat it, we're going to end up getting Hydra minions on us, which is a little annoying. Oh, sorry, I need to shuffle these back. Shuffle these in. All right, let's see. And then we need to go ahead and flip this over. And is there only one? There's only one set here. So this one is one of the few main schemes that starts with actual threat on it. It's going to start with 2. Oh, and his HP is 13 per player, so he's at 26. So hunting down heroes, the notorious Taskmaster has been appointed Hydra's chief of police. His top priority is hunting down the outlaw heroes. After resolving step 1 of the villain phase, each player in hero form must choose to either take 1 threat here or take 1 damage. If the stage is completed, the players lose the game. So not only is it going to build threats, but every time he's going to mess with heroes. So this is pretty dangerous. Jessica Drew, of course, wants to swap to Spider-Woman more often than not so she can use her abilities. And then, of course, the whole issue where swapping back and forth is, of course, dangerous, but it's also dangerous just to stay in hero form because you're just going to gradually take damage. Granted, 1 damage and 1 threat. 1 damage is not too bad. 1 threat can definitely add up very quickly. All right, let's go ahead and put in the obligations and shuffle again. Go ahead and shuffle our deck. And we need to set ourselves the red, just so I can make some of this a little easier on me. All right, so what we're going to probably try to do is stay in Alter Ego for now. What I'll probably do is try to stay in Alter Ego as Jessica Drew. And then Nadia will probably just try to stay in hero form. So that might change our playstyle a little bit. So we don't need that card right now. Yeah, and we'll just take 1 other card and we'll see what happens. Yeah, the command team is fine. The rest of it's fine. Yeah. Of course, you're going to start with the rock. All right. And then Nadia here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So Nadia, I do want to actually get into hero form pretty soon. We don't really need Vivian, Martyr, Counterpunch, or when you use one of your hero's basic powers, you can get that. Okay. So essentially it'll allow me to do, 4 damage or something? We're going to go without that. All right. Put these aside and then draw 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I can work with that. So I'm just seeing what I can do with this. because we want Quinn Carrier. So we need to get that out, definitely. So we might go tiny form in the beginning. Let me check something about Taskmaster and the Wasp. Okay, so yeah, even if I stay in hero form and swap between tiny and giant, it will still cause me problems. So I may just end up going straight into giant and just staying there. Because, yeah, that'll make me at least somewhat tanky. Alright, so I've drawn all my cards. There's not much else I can do about this. So let's go into... yeah, we'll go and get started. Alright, so first things first. Let's go ahead and do Genius and Command Team to get out Helicarrier. I will go ahead and use Energy and Maria Hill, which allow her to both characters to draw a card. Okay, we can now stay in tiny form now. That's good because we can use the synthetic wings to help reduce the damage. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and use Helicarrier, Self-Propelled Glide to play Quake. I'm also going to go ahead and Thwart with Maria Hill to get that. Oh, sorry, I can't put it there. It has to be on Hydra Patrol, so I get that down by 2. And I will go ahead and use Quake to do 2 damage. Okay. Alright, Nadia. Let's go ahead and see. First, do I have any science to discard? Or shuffle back in? Just 1. So I'll go ahead and use Girl and get 1 card shuffle back in. I'm then going to go ahead and switch to tiny form. I am going to have to draw a boost card for this. Alright, well, at least we don't have to worry about red dreams. We'll take 2 damage. And then I will go ahead and use Pim Particles and Genius to play Quinn Carrier. Since I'm in tiny form, the Pim Particles are going to allow me to draw a card. And I'm going to go ahead and discard Giant Help and Black Widow to get out Biosynthetic Wings. And then I'm going to go ahead and discard Electrostatic Armor for now to get Unflappable. And then I'll go ahead and Thwart for 1, taking this down to 1. Alright. And then it goes to ready and draw cards. Okay. Okay, and then for you, just draw 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright. That'll get us somewhat started. Okay, and then we'll get 2 threat. And then I have to choose to either take 1 damage or gain 1 threat. Oh, sorry, I need a ready. There we go. Okay, and then did I use the Quinn Carrier earlier? Use these 3 to get out Quinn Carrier. These 2 to get... Okay, I didn't need it. I didn't actually need to discard the electrostatic armor. That was my bad. Oh well, we'll just have to deal with it later. Okay. So I can either get a threat or take a damage. I think for now I will take a threat, and I will regret that later. Okay. We'll go ahead and go straight into scheming. Or sorry, yeah, scheming, because he's going to scheme, because Jessica. +3. Holy cow. All right, so already up to 9. All right, and then for you, I am going to defend. All right, so hits for 2. I have 2 defense, so it does 0 damage. I'll use Unflappable to draw a card. All right, cool. That'll hopefully get us back under control. Okay, then we get encounter card and an encounter card. Attached to villain. Okay, so this is combat knife, hero action. Spend those to make him discard it. His attacks gain piercing, and he has +1 attack. And then for you, hunted by Hydra, insight 1, so it goes up by 1. When revealed, each player in hero form takes 1 damage and discards 1 card at random. All right, so I will go ahead and use biosynthetic wings to negate that damage, which is something I'll definitely need to take into account. All right, now discard a random card. Oh, good, energy. I kind of needed that. All right. And then it gets discarded. Okay. It's a bad time to be a hero. All right. Pass the rock. All right, Wasp. Let's go ahead and use Quinn Carrier to get out Hard to Ignore. And I'm not that concerned about Retaliate, to be honest. But I do want to get this out. I think I will eventually switch to Giant form, but for right now, we're okay. All right. Then it goes to Jessica Drew. All right, Jessica, we need to make some things happen. All right. Okay, so it's not going to be the most efficient, but I'm going to go ahead and kill off Maria Hill to get rid of that nonsense here, because I have to. So we're going to end up getting a Hydra minion, and each player searches the encounter deck and discard pile. Hydra soldiers perform routine patrols to maintain control of their territory, and put some. Okay, not much I can say about that. All right, so each of you get a Hydra thing. Definitely want the Hydra regulars. Okay. Yeah, that'll work out. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and strengthen numbers. Do I want to strengthen numbers? No, I don't. I'm going to use a helicarrier. Choices here. So I could switch to hero form, but that's just going to cause problems. So all right, so yeah, I think what we're going to do is I'll discard the Venom Blast to get out the Triskelion. Then I'm going to go ahead and play Homeland Intervention. And I'm going to go ahead and exhaust Quake, Jessica Drew, and the Triskelion, because I can exhaust up to 3 shield cards and get rid of 6 threat, bring it down to 4. And then I'm going to go ahead and do Global Logistics and exhaust that. Take a look at the top 4 cards of a player deck or encounter deck. So 1, 2, 3, 4. What do we got to play with? Oh, I didn't shuffle. I should have shuffled after the... I could tell because of the first card. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So that's going to be +2. Oh, I still got Hydra Hunter again. Go figure. Alright, so I'll do +1. Oh. Could I have done that differently? Sorry about the rewind. Alright, I discarded this by force. And I played those 2 cards. Okay, instead of doing Quinn Carrier... Sorry for rewinding, I forgot about this card existing. I'm going to use Rapid Growth. Alright, so the pay for the Red Room training, it's going to be Strength. And I'm going to use Rapid Growth to play this. And then I'm going to use Quinn Carrier and Wasp Sting to get rid of this card during the her phase. Because leaving that out is stupid. Alright. So that was during Wasp's turn, I apologize. Gotta be efficient with your cards. Alright, anyway, back to what I was doing with the shield cards here. Alright, so... Beneath this scheme, when this is takes into... and removes it from the game. So the capture by Hydras will let us get access to these allies, which may or may not help us. So I definitely feel like we should probably make that a thing. So do something like... I mean, either one is valid in this case. Take 1 damage, otherwise place 1 threat on this. Okay, I'm fine with this boost card. I'm fine with this card. Okay, so I think that's going to be the order of operations. So I'm going to put it in top on in any order I want. And then that's going to be, unfortunately, it, because I can't do any more cards here. So first we'll start with Wasp. Wasp will ready and draw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Cool, we got that up and running. Then we're going to go Jessica Drew. You're going to draw 6. I'm going to discard Strength in Numbers and Global Logistics. Alright. So I can get Jessica Drew apartment at least. I might have to just go hero form for a bit. But we'll see. Alright, we'll go ahead and start the phase 2 threat. And then I have to choose to take a damage or not. I'll just take the threat for now. And then we're going to get attacked. I am going to defend. So if you're in hero form, take 1 damage, otherwise place 1 threat in the main scheme. So I'm going to use Synthetic Wings to soak that. And then I'm going to get hit for 2, which I'll soak with her defense. So I took no damage. So I'm going to go ahead and activate this to get rid of a threat. And then activate this to draw a card. Okay. And then this guy's going to punch me for 2. Which, yeah, I'll just have to take the 2 damage. Okay. And then it goes to Spider-Woman. We get the boost card for the scheme, which is going to be +1, so it gets 2. And then this Hydra regular is going to scheme, and I'm going to exhaust Quake to do 2 damage to it. So it's going to still get 1 threat and then get killed. Alright, and then encounter card. On certain loyalties, I'll go ahead and exhaust Jessica Drew. Oh, that gets removed. Then I'm going to draw an encounter card, and of course we get this. Alright. So when revealed, place 1 set aside captive ally face down beneath this card. Alright, so we're going to shuffle this and put this right here. And has 5 threat. Okay. That is everybody. Let's go ahead and pass the rock and see if we can make things happen. Alright, first things first, I'm going to go ahead and use Helicarrier to get out Jessica Drew's apartment, and I'm going to use it to search top 5. It is I think I will grab that power of leadership. Alright. So, yeah, unfortunately, we're going to need to go hero form, so we're going to get Delta boost card, and we'll take 1 damage. Alright. Then I'm going to go ahead and power of leadership, do pheromones. Gets a counter, you get stunned and confused. And then I'm going to go ahead and do inconspicuous, which will give her another counter. Alright, now all I gotta do is Spider-Woman my way inside. Alright, I can remove a total of 3 threat from among schemes in play, so I can spread this out. I'll do 3 here, and then I'm going to go ahead and do it one more time, inconspicuous. I'm going to do 2, then 1. So this gets rid of. We get whatever this is. So it gets shuffled, takes that ally into their hand and removes this scheme from the game. So this gets removed completely. And we add this to our hand. We have Shang-Chi. After you play Shang-Chi from your hand, spend a resource to stun an enemy. Hydra strike team raided by my house while I was meditating. I showed them out, but there were 2 more teams waiting outside. Okay. So we definitely want to play this, but I think I'm going to wait until I have an energy resource, so I can actually do the stun. Alright. So we'll go ahead and go to the Wasp next. So, Wasp, you got some things you need to do. Alright, we're going to go Quinn Carrier, Pym Particle, and Ant-Man. Actually, no. We will do Quinn Carrier and Perseverance to play Ironheart. Draw a card. Alright. Not that concerned about the helmet right now, to be honest. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and spend Wasp Helmet, Ant-Man, and Pym Particles to play Pinpoint Strike. So this is going to do 8 damage, and I have Overkill because I'm in tiny form. So I'll do 2 to this guy and then 6 to you. Alright, got us on the board there. Also, whenever I defeat a minion or side scheme, I can deal 1 damage to that villain, so I do another damage on top of that. Alright. And then I'm going to go ahead and draw a card because of Pym Particles, and I'm in tiny form. And unfortunately, I'll discard 1 harder to ignore to play the other one, because we need all the help we can get. Okie dokie. And then I think I'll go ahead and thwart with Ironheart to get that down 1 point. And yeah, I think I'm okay with this. All right. Goes to enemy phase. Oh, sorry, no, not enemy phase. I need to draw and discard. All right. So I'm going to draw 4 cards because I'm going to keep Shang-Chi in hand. Okay. All right, and then for you, you're going to draw 5 cards. All right. Pinpoint Strike, Wasp Sting. Unfortunately, the Perseverance, the tough status effect is not too useful because his thing is always going to proc it. All right. Now we go to his turn. So 9. Spider-Woman will take the damage, and so will the Wasp. All right. Then Taskmaster is going to attack Spider-Woman, which is going to soak the stun. And then I will defend against the attack coming my way from the going towards Wasp. +1. So I will use Synthetic Wings, and I'll take 0 damage. And then I'm going to use 2 Hark to Ignores to reduce the threat by 2, and then Unflappable to draw a card. After you hear defense against an enemy attack, deal damage. So I could potentially do 1 damage with this. Alright, then we go Encounter card and Encounter card. Hydra Soldier, okay. And then for you, Hydra Soldier, okay. Glad we have Karma, I guess. Alright, pass the rock. Okie dokie. So how do I want to do this? So yeah, I think yeah, I'm gonna go Pinpoint Strike, Wasp Sting, Perseverance, and Counterpunch to play Karma. And we'll of course take control of Hydra Soldier here. So now he's ready to be annoying. Also, this should go away. All right, and then do I want to? So I think I'll go ahead and punch for 2 damage, which will do 2 damage here, 2 damage there. And then I'm going to use Quinn Carrier to get out Night Nurse, which will have 3 counters. Alright, and then I will go ahead and use a charge from it to go ahead and heal for 1 damage. Alright. And then for Spider-Woman here, I'm going to go ahead and play Shang-Chi and use a Contaminant Immunity for the energy resource to stun the enemy. Okay. Then Captive Hero for Hire. Alright. And he doesn't have a, he's not an aspect, so I don't get any buffs from that. Actually, let's not do Shang-Chi. I mean, either way, it ends up being the same. So yeah, you know what? Screw it. We'll do it this way. And then I'll go ahead and strengthen numbers. That will get me a counter. I want to exhaust Quake and Shang-Chi to draw 2 cards. All right. I'm going to go ahead and use Helicarrier and Mockingbird to play Finesse. I'm going to go ahead and thwart for 2. And then I'm going to go ahead and use Command Team to play Self-Propelled Glide. And then thwart again for another 2 to get it down to 3. All right. And then I'm going to go ahead and go to Alter Ego. Okie dokie. Goes to drawing cards. So do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, Armored Vest we definitely need to get up and running. Everything else is not too big of a deal. All right, and then for you, all right, Sky Destroyer up and running. And Agent 13, okay. All right, so we're making some progress, but we're also taking a beating. All right, ready everybody? Okay, so we'll go into enemy phase. So it's going to gain 2. I'll have Wasp. I'll take a threat instead of the damage from the special ability. Then it's going to go, he's going to attack, which stun will soak. Also, he should have unexhausted. Then the confusion will take care of the thwarting, or the scheming on Taskmaster, and then the Hydra Soldier is going to scheme for 1, and I'll exhaust Quake to do 2 damage to it. Like so. And then encounter card and encounter card. Attached to, okay. Taskmaster Sword, weapon, attached to Taskmaster, gains piercing, +1 damage, +1 attack, and then you can spend a genius and strength to. You also have to exhaust it. You have to exhaust a hero and spend those to make that happen. Good to know. I don't think we had to do that for the other one. Nope, just spend resource for that one. All right, so that is annoying. And then for you, okay, captured by Hydra. So another one of these and 5 of those. Cool. We can do some things with that. All right. Also, I should have thwarted with Shang-Chi earlier, but that's okay. All right. And then that's everybody. So pass the rock. Let's see what we can make happen here. So first things first, I'm going to use Jessica Drew's apartment. I didn't bother using it last round because it was kind of redundant. Monica Chang. Yep, we'll take Monica Chang. All right. Okie dokie. We have lots to kind of play with here. I will go ahead and I think I will probably take the hit and go ahead and go hero form again. So boost card. 2 damage. I will take it. All right. And then let's see what we can make happen here. So Finesse, Helicarrier can play Government Liaison. God, I have too much stuff. That's the issue. I have too much stuff. Alright, let's take a step back. I would like to get the Monica Chang out, but I think we need the other stuff first. So, Finesse, Helicarrier to get out Pheromones. Okay. And then Agent 13, Captain Marvel to get out Government Liaison. Yeah, I'll probably have to be that for now. I might end up just holding on to the rest of it. No, let's not do Government Liaison. Let's go ahead and, against my better judgment, I'll go ahead and spend Government Liaison to get out Monica Chang. Nope, I don't want to do that either. I was trying to see if I can get anything out, but yeah, I think it's going to have to be Government Liaison. And then I'm probably going to go ahead and use Homeland Intervention. I'll exhaust Triskelion and Government Liaison. To take this down by... Yeah, that'll work. I'll take this down by 4. So it's down to 3 now. I'll get a counter because that is a Justice card. And then I'm going to go ahead and have her thwart for 3 on this. And then I'm going to have Shang-Chi thwart for 2. Also, has he thwarted before? I don't think he has. Let me check. Nope, he's only been exhausted to help draw cards earlier. So I'm going to I already paid the damage. This gets removed from game. There we go. And we get the card that's under it. Electra. After you play Electra from your hand, spend one of those resources to deal 3 damage to an enemy. 1 thwart, 3 attack, 3 health, captive, hero for hire. I got caught when I tried to help some civilians escape a Hydra patrol. Turns out the civilians were Hydra agents running a sting operation. Unfortunately, I don't have the spare resource to do the extra damage yet, so we're probably just going to hold on to this for now. Alright. And I think that's going to be it. Alright, then it goes to Wasp. Alright, Wasp, you got some work to do. Quinn Carrier, actually, need those, don't we? Yep. Let's go Counterpunch and Giant Threat, or Giant Help, sorry. And Exhaust to get rid of this. Alright, then... I'm going to go ahead and kill off this Hydra Soldier to kill this one. And that's going to, of course, give an encounter card, unfortunately. So I spent those. I'm then going to go ahead and use Perseverance to get out Armored Vest. And then... It's unfortunately all I can't... actually, we'll use Clea to get out Armored Vest. And then I will use Quinn Carrier to play Perseverance after I switch forms. like so. All right, and then, yeah, I'll use that to play the Perseverance, which will give me the Tough status card. You do know the front door is unlocked, right? So here's your Tough. This will mostly just pay for the transform back. I will go ahead and use Night Nurse. Do I want to use Night Nurse right now? The answer may surprise you. No, I don't want to use Night Nurse right now. Okay. So that is all of that. Goes to drawing cards and readying. So you're only going to get 2 cards. Also, did I shuffle earlier? I'm going to check the top. I did not shuffle, but let me check. I did not shuffle. There you go. All right, strength I can work with. Okie dokie. That takes care of you, and then for you, you're gonna draw. Oh, I'll use girl before I end my turn. I always forget that. Let's pick Genius. And you know what? A pinpoint strike. And that pretty much guarantees that I'm going to get those cards. All right. Oop. And unfortunately, we're going to get an encounter card as well. All right. So let's begin. All right. Who's going to gain 2 threat? I'll go ahead and take an additional threat for the ability. Then Taskmaster is going to attack, which that'll eat up the stun. Then he's going to scheme. That's going to eat up the confusion. And then this, gang up. Hero, the villain and each minion engaged with you attacks you. We were just discussing you, Captain. All right. I will go ahead and actually, Karma is going to block. So here's the boost card. Would have done 3 damage. Bye-bye, Karma. Okay, and then your next card, Mimicry. Discard the top 5 cards of your deck. If an attack card was discarded this way, Taskmaster attacks you. Well, then. 2, 3, 4. If we did get an attack card, so he does attack me. Also, I'm going to get another encounter card, which will be immediately revealed because it's still the same phase. All right, so he attacks me. I'm going to go ahead and chump block with Ironheart. Yeah, I will chump block with Ironheart. Would have done 3 damage. All right, and then your next card, dash to, okay. Photographic Reflexes. When a player attacks Taskmaster, prevent all damage that would be dealt to Taskmaster and deal an equal amount of damage to that player's identity instead, then discard it. Okay, so we need to poke him for 1. Got it. All right, and then your encounter cards. Okay. So he has piercing and range when he attacks. Otherwise, he has 3 health, 2/2. Okay, and then you, caught off guard. Discard an upgrade or support you control. If no cards were discarded this way, this card gains surge. Castle's been doing pretty well against you so far. If you're going to steal from the best. All right. So what upgrade or support do I want to get rid of? To be honest, probably the Red Room training. All right. And then we pass the rock. Okie dokie. Also, all this should have been readied. Okay. So we got some things we can play around with. Let's go ahead and search this. I'll go ahead and use, well, I'll wait first. So I'm going to use Vivian and Genius to play Moon Girl and draw 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. I'll go ahead and use Girl at this point and put Ironheart and Genius back into the deck. Okay. And then I'm going to so what was it? Okay, this is only if I attack the Taskmaster. Okay, noted. Because I don't care about the Indomitable right now. Let's go ahead and recover for 3. Then I'm going to switch to hero form. I will stay in Tiny. So this is going to trigger, of course, this ability. I'm going to do 2. I'm going to go ahead and prevent 1 of it using Biosynthetic Wings. So I'll take 1. I'll go ahead and use Night Nurse to heal 1. Get rid of these counters. Alright. Then I'm going to go ahead and use Counterpunch, and Quinn Carrier to play. Well, actually, sorry. I'm going to go ahead and attack for 2 with Moon Girl. Do 2 damage to this Hydra Hunter. And then I'm going to use what I just spent to do Pinpoint Strike. It's going to be 8 damage in total. I'm going to do it to the Hydra Hunter, so that won't trigger the reflexes here. So it's going to do 1 damage to the Hunter, and then 7 to Taskmaster. And since I just killed a minion, it's going to do another damage. Alright, then I'll go ahead and discard a Wasp Sting to play Indomitable. And that'll be it. Alright. So, oh, this should have been discarded. Alright. So we're going to do the following. Let's go ahead and play Electra. And I'll use a Finesse to pay the fist icon, so I'll do 3 damage. I got caught when I tried to help some civilians escape a Hydra patrol. Yeah, got it. Alright. I'm then going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and attack with Spider-Woman, which is going to trigger this effect and do 1 damage back. Yep, so she'll take 1. Alright. And then I'm going to go ahead and switch to Alter Ego. I'll use Jessica Drew's Apartment, search top 5. What do I want to use? Do I want to grab an Inconspicuous? I think I'm going to grab Global Logistics. So Global Logistics, shuffle this. And then I'm going to go ahead and, how's the threat looking? 6? Okay. We're holding on for now. I'm going to go ahead and do Strength plus Helicarrier to get out Sky Destroyer. Actually, no. Instead of Helicarrier, either way, it's going to suck. Never mind. Yeah, we'll get out Sky Destroyer. And then I'm going to go ahead and do Global Logistics. I'll exhaust Triskelion until I get to the top 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, Shadows of the Past is going to get discarded. Actually, what will hit? Yeah, you're about to get buffed, aren't you? So yeah, I'll go ahead and discard Shadows of the Past. And then, holy cow, that's some scheming. I don't want you scheming a million times. Well, actually, no. Having this on top is fine. Okay. Yeah, we can work with this. Yeah, we'll discard Shadows of the Past because that we're not dealing with. Yeah, but the schemes on top is fine because then they're just 0 boost. Alright, that is a shield card, so I'm going to use Sky Destroyer to do 2 damage. Then I'm going to go ahead and punch. Actually, I will thwart with Shang-Chi for 2. And then I'm going to punch with Quake for 2 damage. Oop, almost messed that up. Advance to the next stage, please. Deal each... Alright, so when revealed, deal each player an encounter card. And then, let's see, everything else is still the same. So it's going to be 32 now. And that's it. So yeah, each player gets an encounter card, unfortunately, which is really bad because those are schemes. Alright, well, that's going to suck. I'm going to go ahead and attack with Electra for 3 damage. So yeah. Well, I already know what these are, unfortunately. Yeah, that's going to be it. Alright. I'll keep these cards in hand. I'll keep that card in hand. Oh, I made a mistake earlier. I had Tough active, and I used Biosynthetic Wings, which didn't matter. So give me a moment. I'm going to take a look at that. Okay, so yeah, I didn't need to use the Biosynthetic Wings. It would have just proc Tough, and then the heal would have happened. I was at 10, I would go up to 11. All right. Anyway, drawing cards. 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool. I can work with that. And then Jessica Drew. We will 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this is going to get ugly. So first, gain 2. I will take the damage on... Well, actually, sorry, I will use the... What is the next card? What was the next card? Yeah, I don't remember what I mean, I could look at the video, so it'll just be whatever this... Yeah, that's right. Okay. I'll just take 1 damage. Alright, so with all that said and done, let's go ahead and start with attacks. I am going to defend with Wasp. And then it's this card, so it's going to do 4 damage in total. So I will use Biosynthetic Wings, plus the Armored Vest will make it take 0 damage. I'll use Indomitable or Unflappable to draw a card, and then I'll use 2 Hard Ignores to reduce the threat. And I will go ahead and discard Indomitable to draw to ready my hero. We have no choice, so we fight and we win. There are no other options. Okay, and then we're going to get schemed. +1, so 3 in total. And then encounter card, encounter card. All right, schemes. +2, so another 4. We also now have an acceleration. And then your thing is villain attacks me. I'll go ahead and defend it. +1, so it does 0. That worked out. All right, and then for you, he schemes again. +2, so 4 again, up to 15 out of 24. Taskmaster's training camp. Taskmaster only accepts the best troops into his police force. Before a Hydra soldier can enlist, they must survive his training camp. After a minion enters play, give it a tough status card, and it has 4. Okay, that's honestly not... and also a +1 encounter card. Okay, we'll pass the rock, and let's see what we can make happen here. So, Jessica Drew's apartment. Take a look at top 5. Could take the strength in numbers, I guess. How does this work? Let me check. All right, so the one thing I was checking was what happens to these guys when they get discarded. Since they are now under my control, they actually go into my discard. So, I was in the middle of searching my top 5. I think I'm going to take global logistics. Okay. I think I'm going to probably stay in this form for now. So I'm going to go use Helicarrier. And Pheromones to get out Finesse. I can get out and play, I just can't use it. Then I'm going to go ahead and spend energy and a government liaison to get out Monica Chang, which will of course allow me to search. I do have a surveillance team in hand, which I don't want to play right now, so we're going to go... Well, actually, we'll do... Before we play Monica Chang, I'm going to go ahead and use Power Leadership and Global Logistics to get out surveillance team, and then play Monica Chang. So now what I can do is grab the other one. And they'll both start at 4. Also, Monica Chang and Surveillance Team were both shield cards. I'll use Sky Destroyer to do 2 damage. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and use Shang-Chi to reduce the threat here by 2. I'm going to go ahead and recover with Jessica Drew to heal 3. I'm going to use both Surveillance Teams. To get rid of Taskmaster Training Camp. Then I'm going to go ahead and use Monica Chang to thwart for 1. And then I'm going to attack with Elektra for 3. Alright. And then Wasp. I'm going to go ahead and use Night Nurse to heal for 1. I'm going to go ahead and use pin particles and to play hard to ignore and draw a card because I'm in tiny form. I'm going to use Rapid Growth to get out Electrostatic Armor. I'm going to use Genius and Perseverance to hit for 8 damage. And then I'm going to kill off Moon Girl to thwart for 2, getting it down to 12. And I think that's going to be it. Yep. All right. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. So, let's go ahead and ready up, draw 6. All right, and then for you, you're going to draw 5. Okay. Then it goes enemy turn. Enemy's going to get 5 threat. I'll have Wasp take the damage. And we're going to get schemed on. Boost. So it's going to be threat. So it's going to do 3 in total. Okay, and then I'm going to get attacked. I'm going to defend with Wasp. +1, so it's going to do 0 damage. I'll use Unflappable to draw a card, and then all 3 of my harder to ignores. Get this down to 15. He's also going to take a damage because of Electrostatic Armor. Okay. Then we get our encounter card and encounter card. Hunted by Hydra, I will do Insight 1, and then each player in hero form takes 1 damage and discards 1 card at random. I'll use Synthetic Wings to soak the damage, and then I will shift the cards over and discard at random. Okay, that was just Rapid Growth, that's fine. All right, and then for you, same thing, Insight 1. This time I can't prevent the damage at all, so I'll take 1 damage and discard another card. Losing the energy kind of sucks. All right, and then we pass the rock. He has 15 health left. Okay. Let's Quinn Carrier with Perseverance to play Ironheart and draw a card. And then I'm going to use Ant-Man and Black Widow to hit for 5 damage with Wasp Sting. So it's an attack. Wait, does this hit twice? Pretty sure it does only one of these. Yeah, it only does one of these. All right, so I do 5 damage. All right, so he's down to 10. I'll go ahead and punch for 1. Actually, I'll thwart for 1. Why not? Actually, could I kill? I could kill. All right, so yeah, we will punch for 1. Take him down to 9. Okay, Spider-Woman. We're going to go ahead and switch to hero form. Take the boost card. 2 damage. I'll take it. I'm going to go ahead and punch with Electra for 3. Okay. Then I'm going to go ahead and use 2 finesses to play Contaminate Immunity, which will heal for 3 and give me tough and give me a counter. I'm then going to go ahead and use Helicarry to play Inconspicuous. I'm then going to go ahead and use Government Liaison and Strength in Numbers to play Command Team. I'll use Sky Destroyer to do 2 damage. And then I'm going to hit for 4. And if that was not enough, I can do Self-Propelled Glide to do another 4. And then I could also get rid of 2 more threat. So there you go. Not too bad. It's definitely kind of a slow burn in the beginning for these pairing, because we definitely have to spend time just kind of stalling as we get all of our upgrades out. But once it's up and running, all that damage just happens all at once. It's really nice. So yeah, not too bad. Like I said, for this particular pairing, it was rough because obviously Spider-Woman kind of likes to alternate forms a lot, so I couldn't really do it as much. It didn't do too much extra damage. Really, the big thing was the force response from the hunting down heroes as well. I was a little concerned about putting threat down instead of damage because of Ultron, but since this thing is 24 and not 6, it's a lot easier to kind of balance that out. Obviously, getting the encounter cards from the Taskmaster when he switched forms, I did not know that was coming, so it ruined my plans. I had the deck set against me at that point because of the scheme cards. But once those scheme cards were already taken out, that means we were kind of okay for at least a little bit. And of course, I couldn't really alternate forms at all. So like some of the cards that allowed me to get like +2 while switching it into giant form, unfortunately, didn't really apply in this case. Granted, I don't really use that card anyway because I like to use my hero power for what do you call it? Defending. Also, I think I forgot a small but mighty when I killed that sniper earlier. Yeah, I think for the Hydra Hunter, I think I forgot to do the extra damage from that as well. But that's okay. Thankfully for Wasp, it's pretty easy to get started. She got set up sooner than Spider-Woman did. I did take a little bit of a beating, but the constant stuns and stuff like that definitely helped out. Of course, the ally cards are all very, very useful. The only ones we didn't get was White Tiger, which does thwarting. And the other one that does drawing cards, it looks like, with Moon Knight. All right. So I believe the next foe is... That's not... next one is Zola. I have actually gone against Zola before with a friend back when I didn't realize about the encounter card when you get the cycle of the deck. He's honestly not... I mean... His gimmick is, I believe he is minions and buffing them up. So if you can keep the minions under control, I think everything else kind of falls into place. So I don't think he'll be too bad. His other gimmick, of course, is he does have built-in retaliate, which means every time we attack him, he does a damage back. Which means I'm probably not going to do as much with minions, but I can use them for dealing with the threat at least. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and call it here. I am the Depressed Dior. This was Marvel Champions with Spider-Woman and the Wasp against the Taskmaster, and I will see you guys next time.